The following podcast contains strong language and ridiculous cartoon scenarios conjured up by two self-proclaimed comedy wizards. Between you and me, they're more like Saturday morning court jesters fueled by sugary cereal. But either way, the opinions expressed and presented are mere musings, so please humor their well-intentioned hijinks with a laugh and not by taking anything they say seriously. Unless, of course, you want to pay them to say something else. Could always use a new pair of shoes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ReviewParty.com. I guess this is the New Year's episode. I'm Brent.
I'm Matt.
We're here. It's gonna be a new year, and hey, get used to it.
New year, new me.
Oh yeah, what's new about you?
I mean, like on my Nintendo platforms, I just made a new me.
Yeah, every New Year's morning, you wake up and update your knee, make sure it looks good for this year.
Yeah. People are gonna freak out when I street pass them.
I've had the same I've had the same haircut, size settings, everything. I got it locked into my brain. Every time I gotta make a new me, it's the same dude. It's got the little haircut with the choppy front and sort of the side colic.
Oh, yeah.
The beard, the glasses, the happy, squinty eyes. My me always looks always purple. Sometimes I do the red. Usually the purple.
You can't go wrong with purple.
No, I think it's a nice, especially that purple. It's such a soothing, deep lavender. Speaking of getting deep, I got a review from Amazon here. It's kind of a long one.
Okay.
But I think it's a fun one to start out with.
Let's cut our teeth on this new year.
Teeth ain't going to be the only thing we're cutting. Segue number 2. When we read the review from Amazon for Conair Man battery-powered ear and nose hair trimmer.
Cool.
My friend Christopher Hopper has a review. They title it, "What sort of voodoo magic is this?"
Oh.
I am a hairy man. My hair could be used to fill out a Mason Pearson boar brittle hairbrush, and people would think it's an improvement. That also means that my hair has routinely broken instruments supposedly built to endure human hair cutting rigors. I'm so hairy that the only way I would be able to secure a wife was by A, never taking off my shirt in front of her, and B, my irresistible charm, and C, having a gorgeous head of hair when I seduce her. Since that time, the locks atop my head decide to relocate to my nose interiors, earlobes, and ear canals. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm still married. I said I was charming, remember? If there was a hair trimmer on the market, I have used it and subsequently destroyed it. I am a slayer of hair trimming products. Hair removing creams slide away from me. And the one time I decided to try laser hair removal, the diode willingly chose to reflect its beam off a mirror and shoot itself in the lens.
Okay.
My most recent ear and nose trimmer squealed in an untimely death. I remember a faint puff of smoke as if it gave up a little ghost. I came back to Amazon to throw another sacrifice before the follicle gods. If the sea mermaid cherubs of Enlightenment-era paintings wept sweet rain upon my scorched face, Amazon recommended for me the Conair Man battery-powered ear and nose trimmer. In truth, I was skeptical. The strange mushroom-capped tip reminded me of something I would never want to shove up my nose. And yet, positive ruse abounded. Admittedly, these must be bots, and this an ill-shaped probe of a sham. But I was desperate. A desperate, hairy man. So I parted with my cash, saved from my years of circus performing as the incredible Velcro human, and waited for the Conair Man trimmer to arrive. I set the bag and the sideburn trimmer attachment aside and went straight to my bathroom. 4 days had passed since I last hackered through the jungles within my nose and around my ears. There were plenty of hardened keratin strands to slay. As I inserted the battery and twisted the device on, I was sure I heard an orphan cry in the distance. Immediately, the promiscuously shaped tip and its peripheral side slot slipped into my nasal orifice like a space wizard entering subspace. Then, as if powered by a kyber crystal from the caves of Ilum, the hairs fell victim to Conair Man's voodoo magic. I pulled the device out, examined it, and checked my nose. No pain, no tugging, only baby seal smooth skin. Can it be? I asked myself in a hushed tone. I proceeded to rest the adjustment nostril of its sordid overgrowth. The Con-Air man neither hesitated nor complained, but set to its task as eagerly as a lumberjack to old-growth forest in Washington state. With my nose clear, I proceeded to free both ears, lobes and canal alike. I felt as though I waved a magic wand over those errant hairs, demanding that they yield to my new tool's mighty awesomeness. But still, I was not done. Could this painless and effective cutting tool be Con-Air man enough to engage the beast that is my beard? No, I did not cut off my beard with the tool. Do you honestly think I would so quickly abandon my sacred double chin covering? Please. However, I did use Con-Air man to tidy up the edges that creep toward my lower eyelids and collarbone. Having survived more than 2 months of near constant trimming, the Con-Air man now sits atop a tiny heated seat throne in my bathroom's medicine cabinet where the toenail clippers and tweezers hand-feed it grapes. I'm a hairy man, and I am no longer without hope. But my nose and ears are without hair. 5 stars.
Wow.
As well as a simple picture of the Con-Air man.
And some clean nostrils, I hope.
Well, the Con-Air man is very clean himself.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Obviously, he has a lot of respect for this tool. Keeps it in good.
Yeah, either he tends to it because he knows how well it treats him, or it's just like so powerful it vaporizes his hairs.
No, I think the other tools in the cabinet clean it out for him.
Nice. Yeah, of course. They wait on its every need.
Right, feed it grapes. Heat its seats, apparently. Who keeps the seat warm? They probably just put a bottle of pills on it. That's the big booty.
Boy,
yeah, there's a lot here. I said it was a biggin. That review took me as long to read as usually it takes us to read a review and then make fun of it.
Now, to talk about it in his style, it seems like he is a minotaur man covered in hair.
He paints himself as some sort of freak of nature.
Circus lay freak animal. And
right. I mean, if you need to trim your nose hairs less than every 4 days, you know as well as anyone, I'm a hairy man, Matt.
Yeah.
I have pulled hairs out of my beard that were as thick as copper wire that made me fear for my own genetics and bodily functions. But that is a rarity. It appears that this man is made of metal.
This man, he rolled in Jumanji, and he got the thing where nose hairs just constantly grow.
He went into the Weapon X program, and instead of replacing his bones with adamantium, they replaced his hair with adamantium.
And so he needs some sort of tool, some cosmic warrior tool filled with kyber crystals, and Lord knows what else.
Yeah, the Con-Air man, I mean, Thor must be on the design team here, is what I'm getting at.
It's got some almighty power.
Yeah, I guess Thor wouldn't be on the design team. He's kind of stupid.
He's a tester.
Yeah, whoever Thor's weapons guy is on the design team. Thor must have like a go-to witch, magical blacksmith, etc.
Right, he's got some sort of Q sitting there in the background, hooking him up with all the coolest lightning gadgets.
Yeah, this thing. I hope Con-Air Man is paying this guy, because that review definitely has got to be selling some nostril trimmers.
Yeah.
You think anyone reads that review and is like, that's too powerful for my casual nostril hair situation?
I'm just a beginner nose hair kind of guy. I got peach fuzz in the nostrils. Yeah. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
The abundance of peach fuzz is causing me issues, not the entire junkyard of metal scraps.
Scrap metal and barbed wire. I need something like a Q-tip emery board to just sort of rub away the peach fuzz.
Right. A Q-tip with just a little bit of sandpaper on there.
Honestly, maybe that is a thing. You know, you get those little, very tiny, super tiny, wispy hairs just like on your nostril, not even in the nose, but just like, you know.
That little,
tiny baby
literally
hair.
peach fuzz, that baby hair fuzzies.
Yeah.
Us as Northwesterners, we need that to survive. You rub that stuff away, frostbite instantly.
Yeah, freeze to death. There is an alternative for this guy, however. I believe it is Turkish barbers will perform such an act that only Turkish barbers know and do.
Sure, passed down from Turkish barber to Turkish barber.
Yeah, and it is, in essence, they light a piece of cotton on fire, and then they like stick it in your nose or your ear for just like a little bit. And burn all the hairs away. And I think that's really cool, but also kind of dangerous, which is why only the Turkish people do it. They drink their Turkish coffee. They see the future. They know everything's going to be fine.
When they drink their Turkish coffee, they're imbibing themselves with fire elementals that they call upon sort of shamanistically to remove hair from their fellow man's nostrils.
Yeah, potentially that can get hot enough to melt this guy's pure metal nose hairs.
That reminds me of the story of a young man who may or may not be a friend of the podcast. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
He told me a story about how he wanted to get rid of his butt hair once. And he read that. Well, I guess he would use a lighter to get rid of his stomach hair and stuff. He would just put it real quick and, it'd sort of whoosh up and be gone. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there is some sort of gases trapped within the hair or something, but he thought he could do the same thing on his butt cheek area, and apparently it started a fire, which he but a flame exploded forth, which he had to sit on very quickly, and he got a bit of a butt burn, a little butt burn, if I recall the story correctly. So yeah, only a Turkish barber can sort of harness those advanced techniques.
Yeah, they get the outer cheek, they get the inner cheek, whatever you need.
Yeah, they shoot a channel of flame down the gooch and just sort of in one shot take care of everything. It's like the Star Wars references abound, as it should be. It's like
doing the channel run.
Oh, yeah, they're doing the Death Star.
Trench run.
Yeah, the Death Star trench run. Instead of shooting turrets and down holes, they're blowing hair follicles out of the way.
And you don't want an explosion on this occasion.
No, when you get to that exhaust pipe, do not shoot a proton torpedo down there.
You just want to hear Han in the background. Yeah, like, okay, we're good.
We're good. That's the last hair foot.
You just sort of relax the cheeks.
Yeah. And it's easy. It's even easier to relax because of how smooth they are.
Yeah, they just softly touch. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's a Turkish rebel barber for you. Rebel squadron barber.
Speaking of rebel squadrons, I have a review, an Amazon review. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a little trouble getting up. Picture yourself as a healthy person. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
But you care about the earth. You care about your body, the temple, the Jedi temple as well. And you go to Amazon and you find yourself the Sun Alchemy Mushroom Coffee. Energized with organic fair trade coffee, lion's mane, reishi, chaga, and cordyceps mushrooms, 12 sachets. You might just buy those. You might be like Kitty, who writes a review about these and titles that review Horrid Taste. Kitty writes, Navy veteran of 20 years, so I've drank some mud. But this stuff, it's the worst medicine I've ever tried to gag down.
Oof.
I bet the white dog poop Will Ferrell had to lick in Step Brothers tasted better. Shoot, right now I'd go for some just to get this taste out of my mouth. I'll have to try another brand. Maybe some of the other reviewers will actually say which kind they are using, not just say the other kind. There are tons. Anywho, 1 star.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. If she thinks licking a white dog turd is better than this coffee, I don't want to try it.
I'll
she had
take her
me right
word
there.
for it.
I'll definitely take her word for it.
Now, as we know, there are reviews that feature Will Ferrell movies, and I'm
don't like 'em.
slid on them. So it's been a while since I've seen Step Brothers. Is the dog turd white because it's really dried out?
Yes,
or...
it's an old dog turd in the park.
Okay. That's funnier than the dog just eating something and it being white. I think that's funny.
This is a mummified, flavor locked in dog turd. The white dog turd thing from Step Brothers always reminded me of
spices. How dried spices are more powerful than fresh. This is a tip, folks.
Sure.
You don't need to use as much if it's dried.
No, and what's Viva La Bam? Was that Bam's Jackass spinoff?
Yeah.
They did a scavenger hunt episode, sort of like, I'm sure in high school or college, your friends did little scavenger hunts like, get a picture with a Walmart employee, that type of stuff. But this one was just all sick. It was like drink a gallon of lemonade in 3 different counties, and then you can't pee until you get to the 4th county, stuff like that. But one was to find a dog turd outside that didn't smell and then microwave it until it does.
Wow.
Not to indulge in the horrible Bam Margera humor, but the story ends by them throwing the entire microwave out of the house.
Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, but the oils were heating up and everything. Toast your spices. They smell delicious.
Yeah, the corn was popping.
Don't toast your turds. Oh, God.
Okay, we'll back it up from there, but I think most people that drink this stuff don't straight up just nosh on the gross mushroom tea. I think they put some chocolate milk, some fucking hot cocoa in there or something.
Some dang cashew milk, some fair trade butter.
The grossest thing I've ever had is when they have to x-ray your stomach and you drink that fucking x-ray juice.
I love x-ray cheese.
And
100%.
they combine it with Kool-Aid to try and make it a little better. And I appreciate it. It does kind of, you can kind of squint your eyes really hard and pretend, please, this is just Kool-Aid. That's what you got to do with this mushroom garbage.
Yeah, okay. I'm not a fan of mushrooms anyway, so I don't know that.
I'm not really either. It's just like, just have a coffee if you want to be awake.
Yeah, coffee's pretty natural. I don't know what.
Yeah, the beans are from the ground. The oil makes you happy. I think caffeine as a drug is the biggest, pandemic on this American society there is. Using the word pandemic right now, but it's, so many people are addicted to caffeine in this, casually addicted to it in the society. But I've come to the conclusion that it's good. It's the best thing there is. It makes life worth living. Even if caffeine is a great pursuit, and I commend you, but just have it. It's just so good. It just makes your life so much better. This awful life that we have to live in American society, working for people we don't like.
I am so put upon. Give me that cup of joe.
Just have a coffee, please. And put a little mushroom stink in it. Just go. What if she did 1/3, 1/4, 1/5 mushroom stink?
And then some regular Joe.
And then some regular Joseph.
Yeah. I had a coworker who would do half calf, he called it, because he couldn't have full strength coffee. It would wire him up. So it was half decaf, half regular. That's give me that half calf.
Is that a fucking joke from the Tenacious D album? The drive-through skit, he's naming all the shit he wants, and he's like, I'm on a diet, and he's like listing 100 things. And he's like, right. I want a large soda, half Diet Coke, half Coke. I'm trying to watch my figure.
I doubt this man knows Tenacious D. He happens to be a deacon at a church. So
okay. Well,
if you listen to the D, that would be really awesome, but
there's got to be deacons out there. There's got to be some Tenacious Deacons out there for sure. At least one.
This one, definitely not. He asked me one time, you know the band Enya? I was like, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Sure.
Okay, I know where we're sitting here.
We're sitting next to Enya, about to have a little chat. You should have said, Enya what? And he said, just Enya. And you say, Enya face! And then
just leave.
A crying deacon on your hand.
Don't cry for me, deacon.
So does Enya have any radio hits?
Sail away, sail away, sail away. Isn't that Enya? And also the who can say wash on something right now?
Oh, yeah.
Mac and cheese for.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the mac and cheese commercials.
I hope that singing activated some ASMR vibrations in one of our listeners. Eat
Good
the
old-
mac and cheese.
good old Enya.
'Cause it's my name is Enya. I didn't know Irish people liked mac and cheese so much. I thought that was sort of a North American thing.
The mac and cheese gets around.
The blue box. I don't know, man. I did some crazy shit to get my hands on some blue box overseas. It hasn't touched Japan yet. I mean, probably better for them.
Yeah, dairy is a lot scarcer over there
That's true.
in general.
It's not as mac and cheese is popular because it's cheap, but the milk and the butter. When you throw in a whole stick in the mac, it doesn't become so cheap anymore, does it?
No, that's probably not something you're supposed to do.
Don't worry, I don't. I like my mac light butter, light milk. You know, I want the powder to do the legwork a little bit. I think it makes it a little thicker. What's your ratio like? You keep it by the book?
No, I add a little mayonnaise in there, give it a little tang.
Oh, a little twang.
Yeah.
I see how it is. Sometimes I crack an egg in there if I wanted to have a little more
Body.
feeling oomph. Yeah, a little more body. You don't even notice it, but that's extra protein. That's enzymes. That's what omega-3s, omega-2s, all that good stuff. Omega-mans.
Do you have a review?
Sure. This one's kind of quick.
Okay.
Hello. This one's from Amazon. These are for the Day Better LED strips, 100 feet, 2 rolls, 50 feet, smart light strips, app controller mode, 50/50 RGB LED lights for room, bedroom, party, music sync, coloring changing lights for room party.
Room party. Roomparty.com.
Roomparty.com. Roll of LED lights with a little app. You can control the light.
Of course.
Because it's the future. Caribou has a review. They write, worst item I have ever purchased. That's in all caps, by the way.
Whoa.
So you know they mean it. This is the worst item I have ever purchased. The lights are so dim, you can barely see them in pitch black. A waste of money. Took me 2 hours to install them, and they are dimmer than Christmas lights. I'm getting my money back. Negative stars for this one. If you value your time and money, do not buy this. 1 star.
It's funny because I do value time and money, and
Sure.
it's not just me. Everybody does it. It's strange.
A little bit. Can you imagine a strip of LED lights to make your bedroom look like a college girl's dorm room? It's throwing you into such a spiral?
Not really. Although I'm not trying to be a hip, trendy streamer at the moment. I don't need my place to look that flash at the moment.
I do have a green LED lights I meant to string across the ceiling, and they just kind of drape casually over
The
my
adhesive isn't adhering.
Yeah, I never really adhesed. One, it's plugged in, it's draped over a corner of a bookshelf, and then draped over the corner of where my blinds go down, and just sort of run over the top of that.
Okay. Well, I'll make one assumption about that. You didn't waste 2 hours of your life putting it up.
No, that shit took me 10 minutes.
I want to say Caro, just because that's the name of the guy from the show who killed himself. He didn't kill himself. He died in a game.
LED lights accident.
But Caribou was this guy's name. Caribou. Like, plug them in before you string them up. Make sure they look good.
That's true.
You already know what Christmas lights, you know the brightness quotient of Christmas lights because you're comparing these LEDs to Christmas lights. So you know every time you go to put the Christmas lights up, you check those suckers first.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is a bad batch. We're going to toss them. So check your LEDs, bro.
So this wasted time is in their hands, is on their time.
Completely on him. It hangs over his head like a weight. Like a yoke. That's the word I'm looking for. He is beyoked.
I'm looking through the pictures that are accompanying some reviews.
Do they look bright? Do they look fly?
They look exactly how I would expect. They don't look too bright. I think is the thing I would be more worried about, right?
Mm-hmm.
They keep turning them on in a dark room and it fucking the sun exploding.
Uh-huh.
But the what really is sticking out to me here, someone put the lights underneath their bed frame and behind their bed headboard, and it looks kind of like their bed is a car with neon light strips.
So they've got the underglow.
Yeah, they're ready to Tokyo drift right out of the freaking bedroom.
Climb on. You ready to ride?
Crazy, like, Jamaica drums techno starts playing.
I want a Tokyo drift bed. That's awesome.
I mean, gut reaction is it's very tacky. But I guess don't knock it till you try it.
It doesn't matter if you sleep 8 hours or 8 seconds.
Oh my god, someone strung up their little baby crib with it. You gotta fucking turn your kid colorblind or something.
No, that's DJ
cones.
Baby. DJ Lil Baby.
DJ Actual Baby is in the house.
We're gonna have to. It's gonna be an early night, folks, because you know
we got DJ Actual Baby on the ones and twos. Bottle in one hand, fucking rocking the crowd with the other.
With the little rattle.
At raves he plays, that people aren't allowed to have binkies in their mouth pacifiers. He thinks that's kind of appropriating baby culture.
Oh goodness! You guys can't do that here. Little actual baby gets offended. Start crying. Believe it or not.
Listen, no one say the B word. What's that? Brat. That is, he says only he can say it. He's taking the word back. Okay. I think us actual babies need a little time out.
Little nappy.
Little nappy.
Okay. Hey everybody, thank you for listening to our lovely little podcast. If you'd like to go above and beyond in supporting our show, or have the most fabulous conversation starter since sliced bread, go to reviewparty.com. Click on shop and explore some fabulous t-shirt designs.
Where's your favorite place to wear a t-shirt?
On my body.
Mine is at the store.
That is a good place to wear a t-shirt. Reviewparty.com. Click shop.
Why stop there?
Don't stop now.
Don't stop me now, because I'm buying a t-shirt. I'm buying a shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, I feel spicy. So welcome back to the second half of the episode, and welcome to a spicy segment of someone's professional review. I say that because it's on their own website, on their own blog, which is called Everywhereist. If you read our blog, you know that I referenced this heavily maybe a week or two ago, but I figure it's so juicy and meaty that it deserves to be just read maybe in its entirety here. It's kind of lengthy, so we'll see where we get. This is a review of the restaurant called Bros. B-R-O-S, period.
Piaro is period.
In Lecce, Italy. And it is a Michelin star restaurant. So the title of hang on, what's this person's name? The title of Geraldine de Ruyter's blog post, aka the Everywhereist, is Bros Lecce. We eat at the worst Michelin starred restaurant ever. And this is just, she posted this earlier this month.
This is fresh.
She writes, there is something to be said about a truly disastrous meal. A meal forever indelible in your memory because it's so uniquely bad, it can only be deemed an achievement. The sort of meal where everyone involved was definitely trying to do something, it's just not entirely clear what. I'm not talking about a meal that's poorly cooked or a server who might be planning your murder. That sort of thing happens in the fat lump of the bell curve of bad. Instead, I'm talking about the long tail stuff. The sort of meals that make you feel as though the fabric of reality is unraveling. The ones that cause you to reassess the fundamentals of capitalism and whether or not you're living in a simulation in which someone failed to properly program this particular restaurant. The ones where you just know somebody's going to lift a metal dome off a tray and reveal a single blue or red pill. I'm talking about those meals. Also, great timely Matrix reference. At some point, the only way to regard that sort of experience, without going mad, is as some sort of community improv theater. You sit in the audience shouting suggestions like, our restaurant, and eating something that resembles food, and the exchange of money for goods, and in this instance, the goods are a goddamn meal. All of these suggestions go completely ignored. That is how I've come to regard our dinner at Bros, Lecce's only Michelin-starred restaurant, as a means of preserving what's left of my sanity. It wasn't dinner. It was just dinner theater. No, scratch that, because dinner was not involved. I mean, dinner played a role, the same way that Godot played a role in Beckett's eponymous play. The entire evening was about it, and guess what? It never showed. So no, we can't call it dinner theater. Instead, we'll just say it was theater. Very, very expensive theater. I realize that not everyone is willing or able to afford a ticket to Waiting for Ghetto. That's a good pun. Ghetto is a type of food. And so this post exists to spare you our torment. We had plenty of beautiful meals in Lecce that were not this one, and if you want a lovely meal out, I'll compile a list shortly. But for now, let us rehash whatever the hell this was. We headed to the restaurant with high hopes, 8 of us in total, led into a cement cell of a room, Drake pumping through invisible speakers. It was swelteringly hot and no other customers were present. The decor had a chicness of an underground bunker where one would expect to be interrogated for the disappearance of an ambassador's child.
And Drake is playing. I think we need to highlight that Drake is playing over the speakers.
Okay. We'll muscle through.
Tell me only side, my mom and my bed. I'm sorry.
I can't imagine eating to Drake.
Yeah, Drake's for dancing or driving.
I'm ready to bump it. Okay.
Not for eating.
Earlier that day, we'd seen a statue of a bear chiseled into marble centuries ago by someone who had never actually seen a bear. This is the result, and there's an image, and it doesn't really look like a bear. It has almost human hands. This is a perfect allegory for our evening. It's as though someone had read about food in restaurants, but had never experienced either, and this was their attempt to recreate it. What followed was a 27-course meal. Note that course and meal and 27 are being used liberally here, which spanned 4.5 hours and made me feel like I was a character in a Dickensian novel, because I cannot impart this enough. There was nothing even close to an actual meal served. Some courses were slivers of edible paper. Some shots were glasses of vinegar. Everything tasted like fish, even the non-fish courses, and nearly everything, including these noodles pictured, which was by far the most substantial dish we had, was served cold. Amassing 24 of them together amounted to a meal the same way amassing 24 toddlers together amounts to one middle-aged adult. I've checked TripAdvisor. Other people who've eaten at Bros were served food. Some of them got meat and ravioli and more than one slice of bread. Some of them were served things that needed to be eaten with forks and spoons. We got a tablespoon of crab, pictured. I've tried to come up with a hypothesis for what happened. Maybe the staff just ran out of food that night. Maybe they confused our table with that of their ex-lovers. Maybe they were drunk. But we got 12 kinds of foam. something that I can only describe as an oyster loaf that tasted like Newark Airport, and a teaspoon of savory ice cream that was olive-flavored. I'm still not over that, to be honest. I thought it was going to be pistachio. There is no menus at Bros, just a blank newspaper with a QR code linking to a video featuring one of the chefs, presumably, against a black background, talking directly into the camera about things entirely unrelated to food. He occasionally used the proper noun of the restaurant as an adverb, the way a Smurf would. This means you can't order anything besides the tasting menu, but also that you're at the mercy of the servers to explain to you what the hell is going on. The servers will not explain to you what the hell is going on. There's a picture of her husband kind of looking confused, subtitled, Rand tries to figure out what part of the dish is edible, and a follow-up picture of him looking more confused. He cannot. They will not do this in Italian. They will not do this in English. They will not do this in English. They will not play Pictionary with you on the blank newspaper as a means of communicating what you are eating. On the rare occasion where they did offer an explanation for a dish, it did not help. These are made with rancid ricotta, the server said, a tiny fried cheese ball in front of each of us. I'm sorry, did you say rancid? You mean fermented? Aged? No, rancid. Okay, I said in Italian, but I think that something might be lost in the translation because it can't be rancido, he clarified. Another course, a citrus foam, was served in a plaster cast of the chef's mouth. Absent utensils, we were told to lick it out of the chef's mouth in a scene that I'm pretty sure was stolen from an Eastern European horror film. There's a lovely picture with its lips, and there's a foam dribbling out of them. Looks awful.
Oh, no.
4 reasons that could fill an entire volume of Time Life Mysteries of the Unknown. This item is available for sale at their gift shop in case you want to have a restraining order against you this holiday season. Now, at this point, I may have started quietly freaking out. A hierarchical pecking order was established, and when you're the one desperately slurping sustenance out of the plaster cast of someone else's mouth, it's safe to say you're at the bottom of that pyramid. We'd been beaten into some sort of weird psychological submission, like the Stanford prison experiment, but with less prison and more aspic. That's the only reason I have for why we didn't leave during any of these incidents. When a member of our party stood up during the lengthy stretch between courses to go have a cigarette outside and was scolded to sit down. When one member of our party was served nothing for 3 consecutive courses because they couldn't figure out how to accommodate her food allergy. When Rand was served food he is allergic to, repeatedly, because they couldn't care enough to accommodate his. When a server reprimanded me for eating. These reconstituted orange slices, 1 per person, were a course. I asked if I could eat the real orange that had been served alongside. We'd all gotten one, and I, at this point, was extremely hungry. Yes, the server said, annoyed, but you aren't really supposed to. He let me have 2 segments and then whisked the fruit away. No, we just sat there while the food was portioned out, a teaspoon at a time. A persistent and sustained sort of agony, like slowly peeling off a Band-Aid. That's the problem with the tasting menu. With so many courses, you just assume things are going to turn around. Every dish is a chance for redemption. Maybe this meal was like Nick Cage's career. You have to wait a really long time for the good stuff, but there is good stuff. But no, we kept waiting for someone to bring us something, anything that resembled dinner, until the exact moment when we realized it would never come. It was when our friend Lisa tried to order another bottle of wine. Would you like white or red? The server asked. What are we having for the main? She inquired. His face blanched. The main, madam? We're about to move on to the dessert.
Couldn't have timed it better.
Yeah. Ugh. We sat for a moment letting this truth settle over us because by now it had been hours, and at no point had we been served anything that could be considered dinner. There was one time where I thought it might happen. The staff placed dishes in front of us, then swirled sauces on the dishes, and I clapped my hands, excitedly waiting for something to be plated atop those beautiful sauces. Instead, someone came by with an eyedropper and squirted dots of jelly onto our plates. We've infused these droplets with meat molecules, the server explained, and left. I don't know if our experience was the norm. I've looked at TripAdvisor's photos for Bros, and other people who've gone there seem to have been fed actual food. Like even this person who was served the weird meat droplet course at least got a triangle of foamy-looking bread. Do you know what it's like to envy someone for a piece of foamy-looking bread? It's not great. There's no main? Lisa said to us in disbelief after the server had retreated. Hey, I said, my hand resting on her arm. She was shaking slightly from low blood sugar. It's okay. They haven't fucking fed us, she said, her eyes wide. I know, I said. But look, we're in this amazing country, and I don't know about you, but nothing is going to stop me from enjoying tonight. She nodded. Because I'm surrounded by my favorite people, I said, and I squeezed Lisa's hand for emphasis. And I'm at my favorite restaurant. Lisa sputtered, laughing. No more food was coming, but there was something freeing in that, because this meal had never been about us to begin with. It sure as hell wasn't about the food, and there is something glorious about finally giving up. We sat through a few more courses, including a marshmallow flavored like cuttlefish, a dish called frozen air, which literally melted before you could eat it, which felt like a goddamn metaphor for the night.
That is just a sick prank.
Yeah, that's awful. And then someone came in and demanded we stand and exit the restaurant. Thinking we were getting kicked out, we gleefully followed. Instead, we were led across the street to a dark doorway into the bros' laboratory. A video of the shirtless kitchen staff doing extreme sports played on a large screen while a chef cut us comically tiny slivers of fake cheese. Rand was, of course, allergic to it. The bill arrived. The meal cost more than any other we'd eaten during our trip by a magnitude of 3. They'd given us balloons with the restaurant's name across it, and the chef emerged and insisted on posing with us for a Polaroid that we did not ask for. We were finally released into the night after every other restaurant had closed, ensuring that no food would be consumed that evening.
They can't even go get a pizza.
That was abhorrent, we all agreed, and we shoved the balloons into a dumpster. I'd made everyone take one with the baffling logic that they'd somehow help us offset the cost of the meal. We howled at how ridiculous it was and how they'd poisoned Rand, how maybe we should have known that a restaurant named Bros was going to be a disaster. It was like an awful show that we had front row tickets to. But wasn't there something glorious about sharing it together, the way that a terrible experience makes you all feel closer? No, someone said, and we all laughed even harder. P.S. The next day, one of the staff tried contacting the only single female member of our party via Instagram messages.
Oh.
Hey, I served you last night, he wrote. She immediately blocked him. And that was... she has a... Okay, she gives the address. Cost, a rather mortifying 130 to 200 euros per person. I don't know what that translates to.
Too much.
Too much. Note, the TripAdvisor reviews show a lot of elaborate courses, and these are all way, way more food than anything we ate. I cannot express to you how little we were fed, and I'm not a particularly big eater. Allergy and dietary restrictions were largely ignored. Recommendation, do not eat here. I cannot express this enough. This was single-handedly one of the worst wastes of money in my entire life, in my entire food and traveling writing career. Bwahahaha, oh my God.
Well, that whole time while that was playing, I was listening to Enya. That really fit really well.
I'm sorry that was so long.
No, it was juicy.
Yeah.
What a juicy review morsel that should, rightfully have its place in the review party annals.
Too shortly to put a cap on it, that post obviously went, quote, viral on the internet, and obviously the chef then caught wind of it, and they tried to explain their point of view with 3 pictures of horses. One, a simple person's drawing of a horse saying anyone can produce this. Cooking is like art. Anyone can produce this picture of a horse. Then there was a famous French painting of Napoleon on a horse. This is what someone can do when they are exceptionally talented. But it's boring. Anyone can train enough to do something like this. And then there's an abstract art of a man on a horse, and you can kind of faintly see where there might be a horse in there and a guy. Sure. And they said, this is what we are doing. We are challenging your expectations for what food can be. And it's like,
while I was listening to Enya and your sweet voice and that person's awful experience, I was also clicking on the Google images of the Bros restaurant.
Did you see the mouth?
I haven't seen the mouth, thank God. But everything else did not look like food. And I've had fine dining experiences, both positive and negative, where they bring out the tasting course and the main and the whole 9. And I'm indifferent, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Well, 9 times out of 10, I just prefer a steakhouse or a pizza parlor. But that's
actual
just
food.
me. Right. But yeah, there's one dish that just looks like little fruit snacks that spell Bros, and then they put some brown water around it.
God.
Sometimes there's no brown water. They have these little buns that stamp, like burn stamp bros into it.
Sure, yeah.
Every picture they show of it is a different texture and sort of doneness to the bun, and that's a little uncomfortable for me.
Ugh.
Yeah, this place be looking crazy. I can't believe the Michelin gave them a star.
Yeah, it's insane. But if nothing else, it got us some fine writing in that review.
Absolutely.
Many little jokes and allusions to classic literature tickled me in all the right places.
All right. Well, I'll quickly move on to this review. The other one I have is a little long, so
okay.
This is a review reading heavy episode, but I'll buzz through it quick. This is a review from Amazon. The Risafe Champagne Saber with golden handle champagne knife swords. Champagne Saber opener with gift case for wedding party.
Aw, sick. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's. It's a fucking sword. This is written by STG. They title it Love It, Especially for the Price. This was a free product for a Vine customer.
Aha.
I have to wonder, of all people who shop on Amazon today, how many come for a champagne saber? It isn't really a fixture in your average household, and I cannot imagine very many people ever have seen sabrage performed on YouTube, let alone in person. I wonder... I ordered this to add a little dramatic touch to my best friend's 50th birthday party by neatly decapitating a few bottles of French bubbly or watering his lawn with $100 worth of Veuve Liquor Clot. Either way, guests will be impressed. You can perform this ritual with the back edge of any decent Hefe's knife. But since this is likely done for dramatic flair at a memorable event, why not just go all the way and have the right tool for the job? The Risafe Saber is, in my opinion, everything you could want. A blade nicely engraved and gold-filled. The handguard decorated with a leaf design and smoothly polished. The bold, shiny pommel, a leather-wrapped grip, complete with gold wire accents and a rich tassel. All contained in a nice form-fit presentation box with magnetic closure clutches.
Nice.
I compared this French-designed saber to many others of this ornate design and found that virtually all of them were much more expensive than this one. It is amazingly ornate and showy and feels beautifully balanced. The blade has the right shape. If you are one of the few ONophiles actually considering adding sabrage to your enjoyment of champagne, watch Alton Brown's instructional video and buy this saber. Then proceed enthusiastically. Salute. 5 stars.
What a fancy pants mofo.
Yeah, what a fancy pants motherfucker writing a review for this $100 plastic piece of crap.
Did you check his other reviews? Did he review like a field marshal's in ornate military garb?
Let's see. We got a
your admiral uniform.
We got a sink. We got a drying rack.
Boring.
A tire step, a Fujifilm printer, a car battery. They're quite eclectic.
Any tassels? Come on, magnetic closure.
They made themselves out to be quite the tasselist.
I don't know if you've watched videos on tasselins.
Tasselingus.
For those of us who are serious about it.
That's what really gets me. The fancy airs to this review, juxtaposed with the idea that they are one of the elite few who have seen Alton Brown open a champagne bottle with a sword. And I bet if I look at that video right now, how many millions does it have?
Probably many.
Alton Brown's champagne saber. Look at that. It's one of the first suggested. What do you know? 3.4 million.
Hey, that's close.
3.4 million members of the bourgeoisie have watched this video.
Look at how refined I am by using a weapon to open my bottle of bubbly.
Look at how refined I am watching this Food Channel Network content on YouTube.
I bought mine on the Amazon. I receive all of my finest sabers from Amazon. .fr.
Yeah, they're like, I compared this to many other swords that looked like this that were more, but this one was cheaper. Yeah, because that one's fake from
I'm
Amazon,
fancy.
bro.
Yeah, you're using some sort of aluminum metal.
Yeah, it's made out of the same shit as they make fucking tinfoil wrap out of. It's got some gold spray paint on it. But maybe when they held it in their hand, they were somehow changed.
Hey, tassels will do that.
To the type of person who brags about their $100 Vevu click clack or whatever that frickin' champagne's called.
I think they're bragging also that they have a friend that invited them to their birthday party.
Sure.
I got invited to a birthday party. What did you all do?
Most birthday parties I go to these days suck, so I don't know what they're so excited about.
My friend's 50 though.
Yeah, 50. I don't know. Most parties I
one.
like. This is just me, but just a few people hanging out.
Yeah.
Having a couple beers, maybe watching a movie, eating some good food. I don't need to spill any $100 bullshit on anyone's lawn to have a good time.
Everyone's huddled around just the board games. Everyone's playing Taboo or something. And you're like, sorry guys, I don't want to push pause on the evening, but sink. When are we going to drink the bubbly?
You flood Boardwalk with champagne from your champagne antics.
Sorry, guys. I know you all think it was Mr. Green, but sing, I have the knife.
The mousetrap mice are being washed away like children in a flood.
Don't take off the top of my Mexican Coca-Cola. There's real sugar in that, bro. It's more expensive.
Yeah, I paid. That was like $3 for that thing, dude. Come on, you got all fizzy. It's gross.
I know the cost of money.
They just throw their Monopoly money on them.
Yeah.
Go buy yourself another peasant. All right, I think it's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And the start of a new year.
Yeah, look at us. We found our feet.
They're attached to my ankles the whole time. Oh.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, if they fall off...
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess I'd have more time to podcast, wouldn't I? Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you had a great holiday season. I hope you have a safe and pleasant New Year's. If you made it this far in the episode... That means you listen to a lot of fun reviews with us, and, I appreciate it. So I'd also like to let you know, we got new episodes of this every Tuesday. We didn't even take a damn holiday break, all right? And we never will. Maybe we will. But right now, there's no plans to. Every Tuesday review, hashtags in there, hashtag Tuesday Reviews Day. We got a new episode every Tuesday morning. If you want to send an email with a funny review for us to make some funnies on some Tuesday morning, send the review to reviewparty.com@gmail.com and include your name, because we'd love to throw you credit for that.
Yeah, we'll say things like, thanks, Paige. That was a great review.
Oh.
Whoa. That's like a Joker card at the end of the movie. Somebody's going to know.
Yeah, that's the post-credit scene.
If you want to feel like you know us a little bit better than you already do after listening to us ramble for an hour, you can reach out to us on the social medias, like at reviewparty.com on Instagram and TikTok. We do stuff there. Also on Twitter at reviewpartypod. It's kind of like our hangout, but our other hangout is reviewparty.com. We've got lots of goodies and snacks for you there, but of their mental snacks, like blog posts and episodes and shops and stuff.
We got this dude opening fruit snack packs with a sword.
Yeah, except they've been infused with meat molecules.
Molecules.
That's so stupid. This has the essence of fat. Our chef ate a wonderful dinner. He will fart in your face.
Our chef had a pizza. How do you say a Pizza Hut stuffed crust? This is the essence of his fart in an ice cube. Oh,
I'm thinking of all sorts of horrible tasting menu items now that write a play about.
Well, you know what I would like for breakfast? Some bread molecules. That's right. You've heard the wonderful song Bread for Breakfast throughout the episode. Who is it by? It's by Nosebleeds. They're fun, make good music. You find good music by them on Spotify. Just search Nosebleeds. It's one word in case you don't have a frickin' dictionary, you person. I got a review to finish. I think it's been a little while since I've done the proper finisher.
Yeah, take the honors.
But I have got one from Amazon again for the Dr. Scholl's Cracked Heel Repair Balm with 25% urea for dry, cracked feet, heals, and moisturizes for, you guessed it, healthy feet. This review is written by Poteet. They said, just try it, smiley face. It's written in a bit of a stanza, lots of line breaks, so I'm going to try and respect that.
Okay.
I wish I had posted a pic before and after, but too late. Do I write reviews? You bet I do. Do I return items that are false? Advertising? Why, yes, I do. Do I think this product is amazing? Yes. Took 5 days for my cracked heels to be new again. I used twice a day and will buy again and again. Heart, eyes, smiley face, 5 stars.
I like the almost iambic pentameter there, but don't show us your nasty before feet. No.
Listen, I went on the Dr. Scholl's Cracked Heel Repair, so no one else has to, because that fucking review section is filled with terrible images.